How's it going? If you're returning, awesome, cool. I'm glad you tuned back in again to see what's going on. And if this is your first time coming to check out my channel, sweet. I hope that you get something out of this, and I hope you get enough out of it that you want to return and see what's going on again. My wife says I need a shave. Whoop-de-doo. So Dodge Dart again. If anybody's kind of thinking that this is getting kind of monotonous with the Dodge Dart all the time, the reason for this is because I'm just one guy. It's just me here. So when I work on something, I got to work on something. So I can't have 3 or 4 different jobs on the go. I have 2. There's a Firebird back there still. As you'll notice, I haven't worked on that. But I can't have 3 or 4 cars on the go, because if I do, then if there's 3 cars here, then that's 2 people saying, when's my car going to be done? So I kind of got to get after what I got to get after, when I got to get after it, the way I got to get after, how I got to get after it. Anyways, if you watched any of the previous videos on this, you'll remember that just not very long ago, I had to pick this fender up in this area, because the fender was down. And I don't know if you can really make it out, but you can kind of see that in this door, and I measured it, and I don't know how it happened, I didn't do it, but the gap here to here, it's a little taller here. This body line is where it needs to be, but the top of the door seems to ramp up, and on the other side it doesn't. So that's where our discrepancy come from in here, and you're not dropping that down. So what I done, if you didn't see, is I made a big cut in the fender, I spread it, I put in a piece of steel, sparkety buzz, burn, burn, ow, ow, welded it back together, ground it, and now this is where we're at. So now what we're going to look at today, as you can tell, I guess maybe you don't know why we've got different colors going on here. What this is this darker gray. This is a wipe-on guide coat. It's a powder that I use. You can get all different kinds of stuff. A lot of guys spray bomb it. A lot of guys I've seen do all manner of different things. I've decided, I even used to be able to get a powdered guide coat in a spray bomb that I bought a while back and used. Put it on just like paint, but it was a powder. You'd get it on your fingers just like that. It's too damn expensive though. This stuff, I like it. I don't know where the hell it is. It's in like a little margarine container with a little makeup applicator that you applicate onto the car. So that's what this dark gray is. Now, in previous videos, I've said that when I'm whacking the primer down on something like this, I'll go over it initially with some 120 grit, and that's to level it, because your primer's going to be orange peely, it's going to be textury. So that'll whack your level, knock her off of there. And if you do have, if you're not, you might not be there where you want to be initially. There might be a couple of highs and lows, whatever, it happens. I'm sure, I mean, as I stated, I showed when I first started blocking with 120, you could see even in the perfect world, you still get that. Anyways, so what we do here is we start off with numerous apparatuses. One of these, that's a big hunk of aluminum that I had milled flat. It's got Velcro stuck on it. Sticks of paper on there. Sand her down. That's for ultimate flat shit. If you got a bit of a curve, as I said before, these fenders curve a little bit, the roof, whatever. I use one of these guys for that kind of thing. It's a Durablock. See what I'm saying? Again, with the Velcro, blah, blah, blah. So I'll use that shit in the 120 stage. If it's really good in the 120 stage, then that's when I'm done with that really super big stuff. After I hit it in 120, I smear on the makeup. Here, we're all made up. Smear on the makeup, and then generally, I'll just go to one of these guys. This feller is Probably maybe it's damn near as old as you. I don't know. It's pretty stinking old. But it works. If it works, why change it? I'll put some 180 on it, and then I don't know how much of the fender you can see, but then I'll sand her till the makeup's gone. So when these darts, stinking bloody Jeesley darts that have 15 different flat planes of stinking Abraham down the sides, I'll cut them into panels to sand her out. And the reason being because you got a lot of straight lines here. See the lines? Like, that's not custom paint. Those are the body lines that you got to keep, because the body line is there and it's there. It's here and it's here and it's there. Can you see how it goes all the way down there? Like, kiss a monkey's ass. So anyways, that's where we're at. So we got the 180, and I'm going to do a little bit of scrubbing. And I'm not wearing a mask, because if I was wearing a mask, you wouldn't you wouldn't be able to take part in this charming banter with me now, would you? Because I'd be, so I'm not going to wear a mask at this point. Believe me, before somebody gets all pissed off and phones the president on me or whatever, when I do wear my mask, I like these masks. This is the shit to wear. Right? Seals good on your face.
Okay, and then the pink things we got here, they really do a good job of trapping the dust and stuff, and I mean, all you got to breathe in here. The worst part about one of these masks is a lot of times
when you're breathing in, all you're getting is your bad coffee breath. Anyways, when you're not watching, that's what I wear. Lines. A lot of guys, they'll say, and you see on the TV shows and stuff, people run tape and run tape and run tape down the side. If that's what you do, then cool. If that works for you and that's the easiest way and it's foolproof for you, then run your tape down the side. Just make sure you get the tape in the exact same place every damn time. Because I don't know if you can see, but I mean, to me it'd be pretty tough to get your tape right on that same line every stinking time. When you're sanding the products, being fillers, primers, whatever, sanding a pimple off your ass, whatever you're sanding, every stroke you have the possibility that, so that big sharp line, every time you're sanding on this plane, you're probably going to be moving that line down just a little bit with each stroke. That's the way she goes. That's why I leave this all together like this, so when I'm doing it, if these lines are moving down a little bit as I'm working them, well, I'm going to move them all down. And then when I move on to the next plane, and I'm sanding up, where I've been sanding on that and pushing that line down, now on the next plane, I'm going to be pushing that line back up again, and I'll carry through the whole car. And as I said before, once I get all these panels 180 to where I'm happy with them, then I blow the whole damn car apart, throw a bunch of grenades at it, drop a bunch of panels, dent them, scratch them, chip them up, swear, kick a cat, whatever happens in here behind closed doors stays in here behind closed doors. But then I will mix up another little squirt of primer, and I will over reduce it, as I said before, to make it quite a bit thinner, so it goes on almost like a paint would. And I'll put one good even coat of that reduced primer, over reduced primer, over top of the 180. The reason I do it that way is you can guide coat it and try to sand again with 320 or whatever you do, but you'll get the guide coat out and off of the surface before all your scratches are guaranteed to be gone. So you might think that you're done until you start painting it, and then you got some sand scratches in it that show through your paint, and then you're looking at it, trying to kick yourself in your own balls, going, how did I miss that? I thought I had it. Well, because I mean, that's the way she goes. And it took me quite a while of doing this shit to realize that you're cleaning that guide coat off of there, but it's not all the way where you want it to be just yet. So in putting that one coat of 320, now if this is 180 and I put that one coat of a primer over it, well, that one coat of primer is plenty to fill the scratches from the 180. See what I'm saying? So you're not going to miss the scratches because now you're starting fresh with the 320. And as far as moving these lines around with the 320, it's going to take a lot of scrubbing with that fine of a grit of paper to do any damage to any of these body lines. So as long as you got your shit straight and tight before you blow the thing apart in 180 and you 320 it, I mean, you could damn near hand sand it. You can do whatever you want with your 320 because you should be straight enough. And as long as you're right into your edges and everything and you got everybody sanded nice, when you put that thin coat of primer on there, it's going to be, I've been doing this a long time and I've been using that method a long time and it has never let me down. And I have seen cars a couple of years later that I've painted. Some of my friends that I have now started out as customers and now we're friends. And I go to their place and I see the car that I did for them. And I'm going to be more critical of my work than pretty much anybody else is. Because that's all I got going for me is doing a good job on stuff. I'm no Don Johnson, you know. So that's what I got is what I do. So anyways, enough rumbling. So I'll show you. Now when I'm blocking something out, I don't know how well you can see this, but I mean your paper is always a little wider than your block you're going to be using. So when I put my paper on the board, I'll run her down and I'll make sure that I'm right on one edge, if even just a skinny inside of that edge. Now the reason I do that is because I want to be able to see exactly where I'm at. And when I'm standing here, I want to be able to sneak up to that line. So I'll start like in the middle and start sanding it. And then I'll take, and you can see as I just sneak up to that line. See what I'm saying? And as you get up there, you can control your paper. See, this is good too. Like I use a brush to get the dust off. Okay? So again, sneak up to that line. And as long as you can see that line, you haven't erased it. If you erase that line, well, you got some work to do. So give her a few strokes. So sneak up to that line. Now again, like I mentioned before, that I don't get a lot of what you see. People will, there's video after video of people block sand and doing body work and stuff. And they'll show you their big long handboard, 7.5, 8 feet long. And they'll take Mr. Great Big Long handboard and they'll put her on the surface and they'll start sanding like this. Well, if you've got some waves there and you're sanding like this, your board's going to do this through your waves, right? Can you see that action? That's what you're going to do while you're sanding like this. You don't want to do that. You want her this way so that if you've got a high spot here and a high spot here while you're sanding, you shave those two high spots down and they come down in level with the low spot. If you do her this way, well, you're a dickhead and I don't want to talk to you. No offense to the people that do it that way. But I mean, you're wrong. Cut it out. Why the hell would they make it that long then? If that's what you're supposed to do, why wouldn't everything be the size of a red brick? Yeah, dude. So anyways, hey, a little bit of this here. Now, as I said, you can see that our makeup's disappearing, but I'll guarantee you we're not 100% 180 grit scratching in there yet. There's going to be, it's still raw. So keep on going. And if you do use these, a method that a fella showed me years and years ago that actually I do it more than anything is I hold it like this. Put it on the surface, then you can take your arm and kind of lean on it to even the pressure out. Now it's a one-handed situation. And again, just sneak up to the line. Hey? Pretend you're in a clothing store and you're sneaking around the fitting rooms to, maybe somebody's in there trying on different bras. So you're just kind of trying to sneak around to sneak your way into an open door. Is that a bad example? It probably was, eh? As I'm doing this, you can see some dots here. That's the texture left into the primer. It's all right, we'll get them out. You see what I mean about being able to do it one-handed? Like, you don't always gotta. Like, you could, like right here, I'm pushing right on the middle of it. So that's getting it. So you sneak up your lines, sneaky, sneaky. There's a phrase called cross-hatch. That's what that means. Going across in either direction. One of the problems with running it straight this way, too many strokes, is you're gonna cut a groove in it. So just keep moving. And then once you get so that you got your skinny little line there, well now you do want to pay attention and just run right up to that line. And again, now I'm using the edge where I can see the edge of my tool. I can see my tool. There's my tool. I can see my tool. And I can see the edge. There's the edge. There's the tool. So you don't want to go, you just want to, I mean, this is the point of the game here, where there is some finesse involved. You can't just be a big ham-fisted dick smack and come in here with a tool and just start whacking at it. You gotta kind of, you know, you gotta, I don't know, a little French accent coming on here, a little Pepe Le Pew or something, a little, ho, mon ami, like, yeah, whoa, ah. See what I'm saying there? And you just kind of sneak up to it, right? You run her up and down, just kind of sneak up to your line, keep on going. Again. Same gig on the bottom. This stuff takes time. You can't get in a hurry with this. This is, if you get in a hurry with this, you're gonna know you're in a hurry with this. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of the parts of doing this that if you do all this right, I mean it's not an art form, it's not magic, it's the tool and it's the method gives you the end result, gives you the product. You do all this right, I mean the last thing that you want to do is you don't want to spend all your money and all your time. You don't want to make your wife too happy by spending too much time out in the garage and not in there pissing her off. Just to paint your car yourself, why not? And take her to a show and shine, a car show or something, and sit there and have every dickhead that walks by goes, oh yeah, it looks pretty good. You painted that yourself, did you? I mean, if you do it and people know that you do it, then you go, yeah, I painted it myself, because they expect it to look good. But, I mean, you don't want them asking you that because it looks like you wallpapered the damn thing. Right? I mean, you do all this kind of stuff and you get through your the proof is in the pudding. Whatever that means, the proof is in the pudding. Insert definition here, because, I mean, life is full of stupid sayings that have no meaning whatsoever, but what else do you say? Proof is in the pudding. Right? So you just keep on doing her back and forth, get down to your line. I mean, you're not a Mexican jumping the border. Take it easy at the line. Hey, that was pretty good, Dave. Mexican jumping the border. I make a lot of this shit up as I go along. I spend a lot of time by myself. You know what I'm saying? I gotta entertain myself. There's a couple of cats here, but they just sleep all day, lazy bitches. Every now and then a mouse goes running across the floor, and there's always a goddamn cat standing there watching the mouse run by. Chase them, for Christ's sake. But anyways, see what I'm saying? You get up to that line, and you just be nice to the line. Okay? Does that make sense to you? Is that helping anybody? And then now if you want to make sure, So we've been on both sides of that line. So then I'll go to this panel and I'll give her a few more strokes on either side, you know, on the bottom side. So just on the bottom side over here, I'll go on the bottom side over here. Okay, give her a couple of more strokes. Stroke, 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 stroke. A couple more up top here, just to make sure we're nice. And I don't know if you can still see that there, but I can see here. And I mean, my line's really sharp now. I mean, I need to shave. It's not that sharp. Pretty sharp though. Now it's going to be too sharp, right? Because you don't want to, I mean, they're roundy. So when you get all this done, to get rid of that sharp line, is I'll just take, and when I'm happy with it, I'll just roll my sander back and forth over that line. And you can see that line coming, and you can even almost see how it's rounded it. See, just round her a little bit. Now this procedure I've done here, I gotta do all over that goddamn place. Which is gonna be a great many hours of sanding. Why does it cost so much to paint a shitty old car? Right at this point on this thing, and I got a lot of work left to do. I still got work to do under the hood, and I got work to do inside there, and I got work to do back in the trunk. But right now in this car, I've probably got 250 hours into this car so far. And there's quite a few hours left to go. And this is why. Some days I would rather paint 1999 Subarus, because they're pretty small. And who gives a shit what a Subaru looks like, right? Anyways, hope that helps you a little bit. That's how you block it. As I said, if you're not confident in that and you think you can drop a tape line in the same place 400 times, drop a tape line. But one thing about a tape line to remember is you can sand tape. So you get your tape line run right on that edge. If you're getting crazy with the Cheese Whiz and your sander, you'll be taking the edge off of that tape as well. So you're still seeing the edge of your tape, but you're moving the edge of your tape. So it is possible, even with a tape line, to flush a toilet on your body lines. And I mean, the only thing you want to, like, we won't get into toilet flushing. There it is, that's what we do. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. That's how I do. At one point, this thing will be shiny, and I'll give you a good video of this thing, and you'll see that all these procedures that I'm doing, they work. That's the way you gotta do it. Okay? Remember that video? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Cut. Thanks for joining in.